Well, hello, and welcome to Stitches and Coffee with Jurgita. So, my name is Jurgita, and I love coffee, and I love to stitch and do all kinds of other projects. But this year is going to be all kinds of new things happening, new techniques. New styles of designs, like some 3D different things. So you're gonna see all of that in this year. So been putting together all kinds of videos, my whip parade for 2020 into 2024 from 23, and that's going to have like 25 projects, and also my intended planned or wishes to start new things, just a regular sort of like a kids, then separately from a magazines. And I have like a 12 different projects. Few of them they have nothing to do with stitching, but the different craft projects that I've never done and or done very long time ago. So hopefully that this year is going to be interesting, not only for me but for you. Also this year, challenging myself to kind of slow down a bit, maybe in the stitching, and not rush, because my stitchy bug was getting like a giant tick, bigger than a house. Each time is more and more. Like in the 23, I've stitched, I think, like 30 or 40,000 more than in 2022, and that was about I got about 270,000, I believe, stitches in 23. So I had this strong urge to stitch more and more. So I figured out I'm gonna challenge myself not to rush as much, and also I took myself out on sort of vacation away from a lot of the stitchy games that I was in, because I'm gonna try not to just count stitches, especially those projects that I don't have them on a pattern keeper or cross stitch saga programs. So I'm gonna just try enjoy and try to not to look at the numbers of how much I stitch. I'm gonna mark each month what I worked on, but it doesn't have to be stitched. So for example, today is the 2nd already of January, and on the first day of New Year, I've not stitched anything, but I'm gonna mark it because I worked on something. So these somethings, if you've known me for a while, you know that I have my pet peeves when it comes to my hobbies. One, especially in stitching, is to pick out the fabric that I want to stitch on, and second is how to FFO it. So this is my second thing. I've stitched these Prairie Schooler Santas since I think 2019 perhaps, and none of them were finished. 2022, I believe, or 2023, one of those years, I've stitched and actually managed to FFO it right before last Christmas, so I could give my kids, 3 kids each, little ornament, and it was a flat ornament. But yesterday, I actually sewed it up and stuffed it with the stuffing, made into these little pillows. And I'm thinking that I might need to do a little bit something extra, like maybe put the either ribbon or something all around it, and make it as a hanger or something to do. Right now, I just sewed up, picked the fabric for a backing, and stuffed it. So I've done with the 7 things right now. So there's the 3 pillows of 2 different styles. Like these were done in 2021, and these with the green ones were done in 2020. So I try to kind of accordingly find the fabric for a backing, like would go with the theme. I how you say it, coffee tea dyed my fabric to look a little bit older, so it's like old world. And this one I stitched from a magazine last year, and I did not manage to FFO it last year, but I managed to stitch. It's supposed to be also words, no humbugs allowed, but I didn't do that. I did that over one to make it smaller and made in this sort of star shape, but not exactly. So need to figure out also how to make it as them as a hanging. So that's still a little bit left to work on. And this year, I actually decided to try out different type of organizational for writing that I've done in the past several years. Bigger one, a happy planner. But this year, this is very skinny for 2 years. And I've just figured out I'm not going to do very detailed things. It's just going to be like a one big page for each month. And I'm gonna do the tracking. I'm gonna mark each day when I worked on the calendar. So I'm gonna X it out, like you have 24, 25. If I worked anything crafty, I'm just gonna cross it out. In 2023, there were several days that I didn't get to do any stitching, and some of them had real reasons. Some it's just I didn't get a chance to do it. There's a holiday list in here, and I'm not going to use my goals and planning, but I've printed out in a small print, and this is what's going to be for 2024. So I have whips continuing in 24. So I have it all the names and make who designer and when it started and from what point, if I know what percentage I've started. And there's a couple of them that I have specifics how much I want to stitch, and especially each month. Then different style that will be more talked about on separate video, and possible new starts. So it turns out of all of these 3 parts, it's going to be 48 total projects. So that would make like 4 new things each month. And at the very end, I'm going to be writing instead of notes what I buy. If it's going to be just the threads, then I'm not going to mark it. But when I buy some pattern, which hopefully not going to be as much this year, because 2023 was the biggest year I've spent on stitching and embroidery stuff. So it's going to be what I purchase, and once I finish something, I'm going to write finishes. So this should last me for 2 years, because before I was marking for each game what I did, etc. And there was a big one. Then I started writing less than that because I was marking on the separate pieces of paper. But this is what I'm going to try now. So I'm trying, again, all kinds of different new things because it's fun to test myself in them. Anyway, this is like a big introduction and what I've done on the first day. So let's see what I'm gonna be doing in actual stitching. So as always, on the beginning of the month, I'm continuing tradition from last year. And in the beginning of the month, I always try to start off with the Spoiled Child pattern by Astra, and just work certain amount of stitches as a minimum. So right now I'm starting a totally new row. I'm going to show you in a second what it looks like so far. So I had it printed, and right now it's in a plastic casing. So hopefully there's not too much reflection in here. And I'm planning to stitch because I want to finish by the end of 2025. I'm planning to stitch 3,900 stitches each month minimum. So if I do that, then by the end of next December, I should be finished with the whole piece. So it's a tall order. But even if I don't finish, that's okay, because you never know what's going to happen. But it's okay to plan, I think. So right now I have 58.51%, and let's see where I'm gonna start this year. So I took the picture off. So I moved my frame. I managed to look what actually it's supposed to look like as a first part. It's over 50% right now. I went on the second part. So moved the frame, my Omanic frame, tighten it all up. It's all ready to go, drum tight. I'm just gonna need to do gridding as I go. Like all the previous gridding that I was marking, it was heat removal, so I got rid of all of that so it wouldn't be sitting underneath, especially those light color flesh tones. And this is where I'm gonna start. So I'm gonna continue. I don't know where, how much down I'm gonna go. So I have to calculate. But as you can see, his face, it's all done in here, and this is like an edge of a table right there. So we're gonna go like this part down. And like I said, that divided by 2, that's what I need to get this year, hopefully. So I'm sure it's not going to be a lot of color changes in here with the darkness, but we'll see. And this is where I'm starting my 2024 actual stitching. So I don't know how many days it's going to take me. Like I said, I'm not going to push myself to rush through any of the stitching, just take it slow. And if some stitches don't make it, or it takes me like 6 days to do this, that's fine, as long as I don't get bored and tired. Otherwise I would just take a pause and continue later on. But anyway, this is where my spoiled child is going to be started. I'm doing this full stitch on full cross stitch, I should say, on the 18 count Ada 2/1. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty big. So as you can see here, the whole length. So this is where we begin the year and this month. On the 6th day of January, my backyard is all white. So we got about 3 inches dumped like in a couple of hours. It was so much fun to walk through the snow, but it's starting to slowly melt. So hopefully it will stay for another day. So pretty, we missed it. Really missed the snow. So I'm starting first new start of 2024, and it's this Dimensions Gold Collection kit. It's called Silent Flight, and it's looks like it should be fairly easy to stitch. And I bought it from a D-Stash, I guess, group. I can't even remember, but they had taped up one side because this is packaging don't last very long. It starts to rip up at the sides. So I guess they also started stitching like a hemmed a little bit on the edges, but I'll redo that. They started stitching in the middle. I'll rewash this fabric, might even take out the stitches just to make sure that my stitching is not showing differently than theirs, because it's not a lot. And the threads seem like they're all on the original wrapping. The cards, there's 3 cards of threads and some extras. There's an included needle and 2 pages, long ones with the design like this. And they wrote something like trying to count the rows. And there's a key card because Dimensions make their own threads, so it's different. So we'll have a full cross, half cross, half cross is going to be with 3 and 4 stitches, even 5 stitches I see. Full cross mostly with 2 that I could see, yes. Then the back stitching, counting, and a little bit of French knots. So I have to get it all put together and clean up and come back to you. And I washed the fabric, did all the sides, undid all the threads that I think it might have been looking different from my stitches, so I'm happy that I undid them. And it's all clean slate. I marked again where that middle is going to be right here. I entangled all the threads, put on my homemade frame, and they're drum tight. You can make them as like Omanic frames if you ever had them. So I have a, by the way, tutorial, like very detailed step by step how to make them at home. If you have like a drill that I drilled, and some of them are not perfectly like straight, even on both sides, but it's still good enough to do in the frames, and you can stretch this side as much as I want. I still gonna do a little bit of side stretching here, pulling, so it's pulled out evenly. So I sewed on my frame, and it's all ready to go. So this design is going to be 288 by 198 stitches, and that I think I said it would make 32,647 total stitches, and that includes long stitch, half stitch, cross stitch. There's a, I think it should be like a French knot, at least one in there. So it's all ready to go. I did some other couple new projects prepping fabric, so that's almost ready to go. It just needs to put on a stretcher frame fully. So let's start my silent flight, and I'm not going to be silent about it while I'm stitching, so you'll see periodically some updates on this one. So this is what it looks like, and empty place, and I'm gonna start.
You want some more carrot? You want a treat? You want a treat? Yes?
And this is what I've made so far. So according to Pattern Keeper, Pattern Saga that I have online on my tablet, it shows that I've reached 6%. So I thought that was great. I was hoping for 5% to reach, but I stayed up a little bit more to reach 6%. So this is what you see. I originally had this frame flipped upside down. So I was looking at the pattern upside down, and decided to stitch that way, so it's not going up with the hands but down. So started from the middle point and started go up there, and all of those stitches are half stitches. Some of them were even blends, and you can kind of see the outline here of the eagle's wing right here, and just going up. Majority of those colors were more than just a few stitches, so that helped me without the markings, and I was going until I finished the thread, and just followed according to them, so it was kind of lines going on like that. Also, I wanted to go as much up versus like finishing area and continuing, is because I wanted to see if I measured correctly and I'll have enough fabric to the edges, both sides. So this is what I calculated from here, that should have about the same amount of stitches, which is, I think, just it's not 3 inches like I always try to get 3 inches for the bigger projects, but it's less. Is that like a 2 inches or something like that? So it still should be enough. If I wanted to frame, I might have to kind of tighten up from outside the board. But anyway, we'll get to that point once I'm done with this piece. So it seems like this side at least would be okay to stitch, and I did not go measuring too much. So this is what you see right now, all these clouds. It's everything, like I said, it was in a half stitch, and I did not want to stop, but I wanted to continue some other pieces. But what also brought my attention that prior to, I don't remember, is that 2001 or some year the dimensions kits were made and assembled in America, and after that they moved to China. And the only way you would know is how the kit is put together. This one is, like a pattern kit says thread organizer, so it was made in China. Oops. So that's how you know that it's been sorted out. It's way easier to do. But on key in here, it looks like an American version because they're bundles. So you would have a threads all tied together and with the different yarn thread marking a different bundle, so you would know which bundle pull out and sort out your own threads. You had to do that by yourself. So this is, unless they decided not to reprint simple way, they still had like American version kit key in here. So it's no huge problem. It's just you have to figure out where is like in the bundle versus like just a regular list. So like always, the long threads, and the only things I had the one little bit extra, I just went through the packing this soft core with the thread and the needle and pull out that way, so it's extra. So I'm gonna put this aside. Very happy that I did 6%. So if I wanted to reach 50% by the end of the year, I would have to pull it out pretty much every month and stitch, I don't know, 5% or so. But we'll see how well it goes. By stitching just a half stitches, you fill out more, but it takes a little bit longer to get by percentage or stitch count. So very fun to stitch, very bright colors, especially on the gloomy days. It's something fun to stitch. And that's all. And for all of those frames that I'm working on, I again made a little cheat tag, so I would know what's this design exactly for. And when I started, all that little bit of information is on there, so it's easier for me to grab it and say, oh, that's that. So that's all at silent flight right now, and was very happy to continue stitching, but like I said, I want to grab something else right now. And today is the January 9th, 2024, and I'm starting my dimensions kit called like a daydreams collection. This is by Debbie Mom, and this is all that's in the kit. I got it on a Facebook, the Market D Stash. So let's see what's included in the kit itself. Something else is shaking in there. Okay, so it says it has everything that you need to do it. So let's see. There is a mat, regular, just a plain mat, and the glass that's all protected. And then we have this printed. So I guess this is going to be attached to this one, or it was attached and just went off, but I don't see any blue marks. So the window is the only thing that I'll need to stitch, so it should be very quick. Let's see if you haven't done. So on a cardboard, oh, either somebody already marked it, I guess, or it was like that, and it was beginning stitching. I don't know if I'm gonna use the same thing, but it's for this little piece, it's a lot of work to undo this, and that person left the needle in there and sort out the threads, so it's not a lot of threads, so it's since it's a small piece. And wrote down the colors in here. So let's see what it says. This is supposed to be 18 count fabric in here. This is kind of creamy color, so I know how to do that, but just in case if you haven't done, so it says how to use a tape in here, so we'll go through that. And let's see, it's in the French in here, and there is a chart behind my hand, and the colors. So this would have a regular cross stitch with two, and there's blends or combined colors. There's a half cross stitch, back stitch, and French knots. So we have how many different color threads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I guess, colors. And seems like it's a fairly easy chart to do, very small, but there's going to be quite a bit back stitching. So I'm not sure if I wanted to take time to undo this a little bit that a person stitch because I have a 14 count thread, and I can use also 28 count in here. So this is the only thing that I'll need to stitch. So we'll see how it will look once I start stitching. I just want to at least start, but we'll see how it goes. So this is, I guess, to hang it up in there. So we'll figure out what this is being used for. So this is my beginning of the new kit. And I made a tiny start. So as you can see, I put it in the frame. It's easier to stitch for me versus like poking one hand. I guess I kind of used to stitching with two hands, and I decided to leave those half stitches. It was 98 of them done, and just added 100 full stitches. And I think I'm gonna keep this as my go-to, like a purse project, to go to like a doctor's office and waiting room, because it's so small and not a lot of color changes. So I know I can do this throughout the year easily, even if I take only a couple times throughout the year. But this is, I think, enough for today to try out and start. And I guess I'll show you sometime throughout the year how I progressed on that. I don't think it's needed to show you like 50 stitches here or 100 there, but you can kind of get the idea, right? So started doing his beard from a middle point here, and then all the top is going to be done. So anyway, this will be done this year, and I'm leaving like that. So next, I decided to pull out my, you could say like it's a big project, one of the oldest, and it's an Adam and Eve sampler by Shakespeare Spedler, and it's my very first sampler. I'm stitching this on 40 count picture this plus fog, and because it was hand dyed, it's well, or dyed, it resembles more 42 count than 40. And my hope was for this year to finish page 3 and 4. I don't have that as a digital pattern, so stitching from fabric, I mean paper pattern. So I rolled up already frame and tightened up the sides a bit more to make it tighter in the frame. And here is finishing up, let's see, I think 1, 2. So that's a 3 and that's a 4 page. So this is where I'm gonna start and slowly work throughout the year. I don't know, there's still a little bit more left in here to stitch. So as you can see, I'm stitching with one thread over 2 on the fabric, and like all the small letters were over 1 full X. So that takes a little bit more time, but it looks amazing. And it's muted colors, more antique looking, and some of the colors are very similar to each other, so it's not that easy to distinguish, but I think that is what it makes it so unique. So I'm gonna start on this slowly. I'm not gonna rush, but it would be fun to at least finish those 2 pages in a year. So we'll see how it goes. Right now, I just wanna concentrate and maybe 1 or 2 days work on that, and then I'll come back to you with some results. Well, what can I say? I worked intensely and I actually finished up the page 4. So let's see what we have here. So the danglers are the beginning points of the threads that's gonna be going to page 6 in there. So there's you can see all those little flower, I guess flower buds or something like that, with some of them have little things inside, some don't. There's quite few that are like a connecting, so it's not all like spaced properly and things like that. And just same in here. And like for example in this it's like outline is not much of more different in color. So finished all of that. There's a lot of stitches in here. Then I moved into this words, and they were written on a separate sheet of paper. Only like this page had capital letters, and so you can concentrate on the words more. And there were tiny letters over one, so magnifier definitely helps. And I actually put on bigger ones, magnifying glasses than what I typically use for a smaller count. But I try to, once I finish like a letter, I try to like finish off the thread in the back, and then go again a separate word in here, and then finish in the back. So it's not all continuous like a thread behind it. So all those little wiggle lines, they're over 2, 1/2, and the letters are 1/1, of course. But I think it turned out pretty good. The letters actually, like old style. So so you can kind of see like those S is like a sort of like a L or something like this, and so it's old style. And this is where there's another gonna be line in here, I think. And let's see, let's check out the yes, so there's going to be another line of words, and that's going to be it. So right here it finishes. And in the third one, I put all those pages in the pattern keepers. I'm curious how many stitches each page will have, so I'm marking. And because I don't think the pattern says how many stitches going to be in total, but I'll let you know, guys, at the end. So this is where the page gonna end in here. So some of the parts I still had unfinished, like a tiny bit in here, and like continuous in there. So next time I'm gonna finish up, I think, in here, and work on page 3. But I'm very happy because my plan was to finish those 2 pages, so this would be the line kind of thing. So yeah, but like I said, it was intense, several days of stitching. And my stitcher bug just doesn't want to give up very easily on me. So we'll see if we can slow down next round. So that's what I have with my Adam and Eve sampler. Today I wanted to work with you with this biscornium. Today is January 11, 2024, so 1/11. And throughout the whole day, I keep, when I just by chance look at the clock, I started seeing like 11:11 and 1:11, and then it was like 3:33, and at 5:55 I thought, well, my numbers mean something. So since it's 1:11, I should start something totally new. This is one of my 12 different types of projects that I want to do this year. And let's look it up. So I've never like fully assembled biscornu before. And this is the kit that I got from Karen Dudzinski at the 2023 Needlework Galleria event. So I took a class with her, and what was great, it was amazing. She was really patient and answering all the questions. So she gave us fabric extra, like a fabric to work on, and the different types of threads. So we worked a little bit, and she was just going over the main points, which might be harder to work on for this piece. And I picked the kind of totally bright colors to see. So I still have those to look at. So in the kit, this is what it should look like. Hopefully, when it's all done, she, as the pattern warns that as a kit, that could be something different included as the buttons there. We can always change. But I thought as my first done and finished this corner, this would be great to try out. So it kind of reminds me of a coffee. And it included this, what you call it? Let me see. It's listed in here. Not gonna show you all the pattern, of course. This is gonna have iron-on fusible interfacing and 28 count espresso linen. So interfacing was added inside, and I was writing some notes inside too. And this is what was in the kit, so I'll pull it out so there's no crinkling and glare for you. So here we are. So there was a stuffing included in a separate bag. The fabric, like I said, a 28 count. Oh, looks like a chocolate. I want to have coffee and chocolate. And I've never worked before with this sulky filaine threads. So we got the chance to work there. Remind me, even though they're acrylic, as it says right here, it's a acrylic thread, and it's a 12 weight, and it says filaine. But the feel is like, I don't know, kind of soft, not like a wool. It's hard to tell, but maybe you can kind of see like a little fuzzies on that feel. So it's very homey. And so we got a whole group of full spools in here, even though we won't need that much, of course. But these are the colors that are going to be for this project. And the project design is 120 by 120. So there's going to be two sides done, and all of them are like a specialty stitches, and there's some excess, but majority of them specialty stitches. So you can see all the colors in here, beautiful colors. So you just need one thread. There's no, putting two together, one in half, but just one thread is enough. You can see the thickness of that, pretty thick. And there were those like middle part buttons. So I don't know if I'm gonna use these, although they are kind of cute, or I can grab something else. And there is a needle included. And so we have little instructions, and we worked on what needs to be done, and at the end how to finish it. And she talks a little bit more about this stuff. So it was great. We could ask all kinds of questions if we needed. She was showing us, even brought in mini tiny cute iron to how to put it all, like, and especially because as a biscorn you have to sew it up slightly differently, not like side by side. So she was going through all those steps in there together. So we'll see how it goes, but I wanted to at least start today, since my numbers tell me what to do. And this hopefully is what it's gonna look like when it's all done. And we'll see if I can make look like that first of all. Because it looks like easy, but there's certain ways all the stitches have to go and start and end. So it's not just going straight lines. Then let me pull out the correct threads, and I think I'm gonna start from the top one, and I'll come back to you with some stitches done. And I'm very excited to show you what I've done. So as you can see, I had it on a frame, and the top portion or first part is practically done. If we look at the picture, the only thing left to do were these little cross stitch actually corners at 4 parts. So everything is done. So let's look it up a little bit closer. None of these were any regular excess, although these look like regular excess, but you had to kind of calculate, especially on a dark fabric with the dark line in here. You can see specialty stitches, this part. then you had to go in and calculate how to put in, because it's not always was exactly lined up with this dark stuff. So I had to make sure like this, and we had to pull a little bit, like a pull thread tiny bit, those X's, so you can that's why you can see those lines going between them. And these were just like regular back stitches, and you can see gradual changes in here. So I think it's what, one, two, three, like a four different colors in that area right here. And this like a outline was pretty hard to do, because you have to go in, and again, it's not exactly let me maybe grab something more pointier for you. So it's not exactly like lining up with like where the X is, because you had to go somewhere in between. So sometimes it would be like above whitish line, sometimes below, sometimes on it. So I really had to follow the pattern to make sure the distances, like just weaving, not the back stitching, stem stitch would be, and the same especially was in here, because sometimes it would match this, sometimes with the white, sometimes in between. So that was a little bit more work to put in. This part was fairly easy to go. So the first part is practically done. Like I said, it's just going to be little things to stitch in the four corners. But I think I'm going to stop right now at this point. Also, I wanted to show you, I didn't want to break my nails because I'm trying to grow a little bit. And when I was trying to pop open these, and actually I was using like a scissor, gently pop open, and it broke off. So you can kind of see like this is a little bit left, because it kind of like a suction comes off. So now I have to put um, in a separate plastic bag, so I wouldn't forget which number it is. So when you're opening, try to be very careful to kind of pry it open. Like I said, I didn't want to chip off my nail, and this is what happens. So that's the only one that it happened so far, but it's very interesting to stitch with this thread. Like I said, it's feels a bit fuzzier, so you can have like 1.5 meter length threads. But I'm very happy how it turned out, and next time I'm gonna finish, I think, this, then roll up my frame, because the second part is gonna be somewhere like here below. So this is my first filet biscornu by Texture Treasures, Karen Dudzinski. Yeah, exciting. I love how the color palette works. So that's all for this one. So the next I've decided to pull out, at least for a little bit, is Lanarte Secret Stitch Along 2023 was the first part. They do about a couple of those. And I know what it looks like right now, because I've seen some people already finished it. They were in time to do all those stitches, but I was not. So I think if I remember correctly, I need to double check. The whole pattern came to us in like 14 parts, and I've done only about 2 of them. So this is what it looks like, if in case you haven't seen what it actually looks like. So you won't know what you might start to guess, actually, but it's stitching fairly easily, and there's just a tiny bit of back stitching that needed to be done, so I did it right away instead of waiting until the whole thing is finished. But majority of them just plain stitches, and everything came in the kit included except the pattern, of course. So all the supplies like a fabric and the threads and needle and color was given palette later on with the email. You have to sign up for email. And 2024 Secret Stitch Along also, right now it's, if you want it, it's time to sign up for. And then you have to buy a kit either via certain websites and sign up to get the patterns via email. So I don't know. I can't even guess what's going to be for this year. But this is what last year, my first of their stitch alongs, secret ones. So I'm going to decide where I want to go, because I have all the parts. So if I want to go here or there. and stitch a little bit. I love Lanarte kits. It makes it so easy to stitch, and the stitches lay so nicely too. So this is where I'm gonna start. So today is what, 13. So yesterday we got some snow and the temperatures were dropping drastically. So this morning at what, 9:30 or so a.m. we had showing as a -4 Fahrenheit, and actual feel is like a 20 -22 Fahrenheit. So it's pretty chilly. And I went to my canasta group yesterday. We did like a Christmas exchange things, so it was lots of fun. We sat also by the fireplace inside, so tried to stay warm, watching snowflakes falling. And this morning, we had a dog first time going out of in his boots, shoes we've been training for, so that was kind of fun. And it seems like he was okay with that. At least his feet were not cold. So I'm gonna just sit around stitch. It's a very relaxing day, although it really messes up with the car tire pressures, definitely. Super, super cold. Although you couldn't tell. I wish it was a little bit more snow, not as cold, but it's just gonna be going up and down. So I'm continuing stitching this sal, but also when I want to show you, a couple of days only ago dawned on me that my nail polish is very close to my tablet holder here. Actual color of the tablet holder is a little bit lighter than you see, so it's more matchy to my nail color. So that was, I guess I picked the color without thinking about my tablet color, but that was like one of the weird points there. So I ordered a couple patterns that I've been thinking of just right before that, like within a day. And it's like, oh man, those are hard to find. So that would be cool to find it. And suddenly pops up in my Facebook resale groups. So I requested a couple of them, and hopefully they'll show up soon. But it was just amazing like that. I was just thinking about it within the last few days, and then they suddenly show up as a sale and with the very reasonable prices. So that was like a great New Year's kind of start. So I'm gonna continue stitching this while waiting for my parents to show up, and I'll show you one I've done a little bit more. So right now I just was filling in this part, which is number 3, but I don't want to move the frame yet because I still have more room up there. So just gonna stitch where I can, and then I can move to other parts and stitch there if I will have a time for that, of course. And this is how much I've done for my secret cell from Lanarte. And actually, after I finally figured out where I can continue in here, because it's separate parts and I couldn't just move it there and count from the bottom. And it was kind of hard to figure out which area this part would start. So then I had to find which part goes with that one. And I looked into this, and it's actually was stitching with one thread. So I looked at the same number was in here with the first part, and I've stitched that part with 2 threads. So I had to take it all out, frog it out of that color, which is quite few stitches, and then I just redone it. I tried to save the thread because I didn't know if I would have plenty left or not. So what I could, I saved and just restitched it. So I guess this color is going to be for the background. And this is where I'm going to leave it for now, and figure out what else I want to do and how I want to go. And I think this is, there's going to be a little bit more in that part left, and it goes up there. But this is where I'm stopping for now. So I want to show you what I've been working on. So I've decided to put some FFOing work too. So what you see here is what I've done yesterday. So this is just Nan's Oakley outlet, I guess. And that's the first time putting together this one of those little animals that she has. And I had to read the instructions quite a few times and follow like that. Somehow my eyes did not stay at the same level. One is a little bit off than other one, but this is what it looks like, and I think it turned out pretty good. And I followed all instructions for what I can understand. And here is the bottom. And at first I thought about putting like a washer underneath, but that was like right with the size of the bottom. So I decided to just add a penny as it was suggested in the instructions. There's a little bit of thread still sticking out. I need to work, but this is what it looks like, and I think it's very cute. So I'll have something to decorate my table during the fall season. And today I was working on this hands-on design piece. It's not fully done, so it comes in the two parts. I've stitched this a while ago, and uh, pink cushion is all done, and it's squishy enough and fat enough for that. So this is what the bottom looks like. That's where the last stitches were. So I would start from the corners and stitch them and leave it, start next one. And I did not put anything like on the bottom, like mat board or anything like that. I don't think it's needed, but it's all done and finished. So this is what it looks like that. And partially done basket. You see the bottom for this. And I just folded ready basting. What I need right now is to put like a mat board in there, get a rickrack and wool felt, and I need to still get it, those two items, so I can put it together and it will be all done. So love it. Stitching by the sea. So hopefully before the summertime is going to be done is where I long to be. And it's so true. So this had much thicker interface fusing than this one that needed inside, so it would hold better the shape. So this is what it looks like right now. So I'll have to wait until I get the rickrack and figure out which wool felt I want to use to match, but this is done and that's the size it would be. So as you can see, plenty of room in that. So been working, I'm doing some FFOing. Very happy that I finished what I have right now. And this one is a paper, by the way. And today I've decided it's time to pull out my second monthly project because I have a plans for specific amount of stitches. And this one is Aileen and Rowan, or is known as Beloved. I started this on a 2221, and right now I have 74.03% done. So I have 21,099 stitches left to do. I have a frame moved over and it's all ready to go. I can't remember if I would fit in here the whole thing all the way down or not, but there's going to be a couple more rows. And to finish this, hopefully by mid-year, I would need to stitch each month for those 6 months, 3,517 stitches. So I'm just going to take area what I can and stitch. So that's going to be just majority like this area down, so no faces will be left shown. It's just outfits and the hair. So that's all it's going to be left, like this area. You see those red dots is where my threads are parked, and this is what I need to continue stitching. So using synthetic SHS or CXC threads, and stitching it as a full cross here, and we'll see how it looks after I finish my monthly minimum, at least. At least I'm hoping. And after many days, this is what I've got. So you see like a whole row and what I've done up to this point. So of course, I would imagine you can figure out yourselves that I've done more than my monthly minimum that I wanted. So I just kept continuing going, but I then decided to stop because it's practically a few days in this month left, and there's one more whip that I want to work on. But it took me that long because my oldest friend, and she lives right now in Colorado, came visit with her mom to celebrate mom's birthday. So I was doing touristy things with them, and I might include a few pictures what we've seen. They were here like for 5 days, and practically all except one day we had rain because it was not cold outside during daytime, so it was all rain, no snow. And we went to the art museum in St. Louis, and seen some famous painters' work and some statues. So I'll be putting a few pictures here and there throughout this talk. And then we walked around a little bit, and then we went to also like a shrine of Our Lady of the Snow in Belleville, Illinois. And I thought that they still have a restaurant there open, but not anymore. I guess during COVID, they had to shut down like a lot of other businesses. But they had little sort of also museum how it all started, and that was a little bit interesting things to see, especially about northern part of North America. And we also went to the Arch. That was the only day that there was no rain and no fog, and we can actually go up and see down below. So we bought the tickets ahead of time and for parking, so spent quite a bit of time there around looking museums. So I might do like a separate video for those of you who can't go and visit. And it's interesting, like a whole history of the area, how first settlers were there, and how it all grew into the area, and how the arch itself was decided to be built on. And at the top, you get only like 10 minutes when you have to ride up. So it was just some, glimpsing around through the windows, taking pictures of everybody, and filming. And that was like it. And the next group of people supposed to go. So it was not a lot of time. My daughter actually loved it. She said she could live in there and sleep by those windows. She loved the heights. And we went to the Science Museum, also in St. Louis, there, that Forest Park kind of area. I renewed my membership. We tried to support that, and we just walked around, and I took pictures. They had some Doctor Who like drawings and things, and all kinds of fossils were along the way, so you can see. And we had a great time overall. And then to celebrate ladies her mom's birthday, we went to like a Japanese Hokkaido restaurant where they cook in front of you. So I had all my kids, my eldest fiance, and a friend of her mom at that restaurant. And it was interesting to watch. Again, I've been there some years back only. And it seemed like every table around us were celebrating some kind of birthday. So yeah, so it was practically no stitching during those days because it was kind of tiring to be hostess and drive everywhere and chat so much. We chatted a lot. So that's why there's only this much was done in all those days. But I also managed to do some FFOing. So this is Just Nan's gingerbread Santa mouse, and that goes with the cube that can be put together. So you kind of see I sewed up. This is a separate little bag with the like a candy cane. So it's all done, and here's the bottom. I took some pictures to kind of like do the progress, but this is what it looks like. What was put in the kit, I used it all, like a hat and the big tail, and this works as a weight for it. So very happy that I FFO'd it, and I think it turned out great. And another FFO was also stitched long ago, but I haven't done FFOing, and it's this like a scarf holder. So like a metallic thing is inside, and you have to like stitch two different things to sew it up, like typical, and just follow instructions how to do it. There was this charm also included. You can kind of see metal behind. I struggled a little bit with the instructions because I couldn't figure out, the folded parts where it go. So I figured out that I'm just gonna do in the back and try to sew it up. So quite a bit of work was to put two sides together, inner part and outer part, plus from both sides. But the outcome, I think, it turned out good. So yeah, so now I can like put a scarf and string it through in the middle of that. And that was a long time in the works, this piece, because like I was again never done something like this before, so it was a learning experience. So another couple FFO things, and then I'm halfway through some other things to FFO, and I'll show you once I fully finished. So this is what I've been working, and it's still, of course, no snow outside, positive temperatures, getting warm outside. So end of the month, and I have one more whip left to work on, and I'll show you which one. So the January is over actually, and I just want to tell you that I had this piece set up that I always do like at the end of the month for a past year, and work something, but I had set up on a frame, did not get a chance to stitch on it, and just had to keep telling myself that's okay, that because it was such a strong habit in over a year to do this and work constantly and put in more stitches, that I had to make myself draw back a bit and not to worry about it. And it's like addiction, I guess. And now I'm looking at this, and it's like, that's okay. First month passed, and my challenge to myself is, I think, working. I did not do as many stitches. I try not to count. Of course, my like a pattern keeper and Saga would tell me how much I've done, but overall, it was not too bad. And today is February 1st, and I can tell you that it's very warm outside, and I might go for a walk instead of worrying about my stitching. But it's close to lunchtime, so just want to go over all my January. I've done my starts that I wanted to do. I stitched on my few monthlies that I wanted to do, and I'm sure I would be able to catch up later on something like this if I wanted to. But main thing is not to stress myself out about this if something does not get worked as it used to. And I had some quality time otherwise besides stitching, so that's all good. So I guess I'm gonna finish this month overview, and hopefully my computer will be fixed soon by my husband, so I can do all the editing and putting up all those videos that are waiting to be put online. And so I hope you guys enjoying your day and enjoyed watching this video, and my new starts, progresses, how it all goes. So until next time, this was Jurgita saying bye-bye.